Hi friends! So today I'm here with a little company of my journal where I put some reflections on how to develop my 2026. So I reflected a lot on how my last year went. So I made a video about that, maybe you've seen it, and it was an amazing year. I was really happy about it. I had the chance to do what I wanted to do and it was literally the best year of my life. Of course, I cannot keep just hoping that everything will go for its best without having a plan. So what I decided to do is to create a plan for this 2026. Not a super detailed plan, but at least I wanted to have some goals, some objectives, some actions to take to make sure that my 2026 could really be the best year again of my life. Because anyway, when I look back at my life, every year that passed, every year that I lived was better and better and better. So I'm quite confident that this 2026 could be even better. But 2025 was just so good because I got a gap year, I didn't work that year, I literally have painted and drawn the whole year. I've done what I really thought my passion was and actually is. So I'm really happy about that, and that's why I really want to make sure that my life could go in that direction, and I'm really determined to make this happen. I really believe in having plans, but at the same time in 2025 I understood that not planning everything necessarily can make things work. So that was a good friend that made me understand that, and at some point she was like, okay, let the universe do some work for you. And you know what, like I really believe in these things. I really believe in manifestation, in putting the right energy out there, but also working for what you'd love to do. So that's why I'm here. That's how my reflections went. Yeah, so I wanted to share a little bit of my goals with you. I watched a lot of YouTube videos about manifesting in general, but also about planning, about setting goals. So I reflected a lot. Today, when I'm recording, is the 14th of January, so it's not exactly the super beginning of the year. We're not on the 1st of January, but still we are in the first half of the first month, so I'm super on time to do that. You're super on time to do any plan if you want to as well, because in any case, our life doesn't start over from the first day of the year, from the 1st of January, so you could make a plan for whenever or starting from whenever you want. So I'm a believer in this, but in any case, I decided to reflect on this a little bit more with the new year coming. And yeah, I brought my journal with me because in general I journal a lot, but this is where a little bit of my latest thoughts are, and I put a little bit of my bullet points in here. So I'm using that as a guide for this video, as I didn't make a script, but normally my videos are with a script, so excuse my English if it's not always super perfect, super polished, but I decided that I wanted this video to be slightly more spontaneous, trying to have a very genuine and honest conversation with you on how I'm envisioning my 2026 to be. First of all, I must say that I'm really positive, I'm really energized, I'm really confident in my year. Like deep down, I really know that it's gonna be amazing, that I will be able to reach my objectives. I don't know if my objectives will evolve during the year, because I realized in 2025 that I discovered so many things, and by discovering many new things that I never even thought were possible, I actually opened new possibilities for myself or for my mind or for how I envision my future to be. So I'm living this little, uncertainty about what could happen, about the fact that my goals could change. I have set 3 big goals for myself for 2026, but as I said, they could evolve, they could change throughout the year with opportunities unlocking. I must say that these are quite high-level goals, I would say, so they're not super specific, although you will see that I have set some specific actions for each of these goals. They still could become reality without forcing it in a certain direction necessarily. I know that this sounds all very general at the moment, but I'm envisioning my life changing. I'm envisioning a dream for myself, and that's why I put high-level goals, leaving, all the rest to the universe hands. Sorry if that sounds a little bit woo for you. But that's just how I live. So maybe something else works for you, but this is like, I like thinking positively. I like thinking in energy and so on. But in any case, you'll see that my 2026 goals are quite specific. So we can start. We can start from my first goal, and my first goal for this 2026 is to consolidate my artist identity. I really want to do this because in 2025, as I said, I had the chance to do what I really wanted to do for a long time. I subscribed to the academy, I attended the academy full time, and that's where I learned, and I'm still learning, to draw and paint. And I saw that by doing that every day for many hours is what really energizes me, is what really gives me happiness, is what I really love to do in the future. So if you ask me, what would you want to do when you grow up? Who would you want to be? I would answer, I want to be an artist. I want to be a painter. I mean, I'm already grown up, I guess, but it's never late for dreaming. And yeah, that's my first goal. And to achieve this goal, what I thought is that first of all, I need to keep painting and drawing, obviously. From this year, I won't be attending the academy as a full-time student anymore, but I will still go every day, just part-time. So only during the afternoons, or maybe 2 days a week. So we'll see. I still need to figure out. For now, I'm going every afternoon for 3 or 4 hours, depending on if I stay during the break or not. I will still keep learning and doing art. And I want to dedicate the mornings instead to develop my portfolio of works. For now, as you might know, if you've seen my previous videos, I don't have any works that I develop myself outside the academy. So I have a lot of academic studies, I have a lot of paintings of models, drawings of models or of casts, but I don't have my own compositions, I don't have my own, let's say, proper paintings, right? So this is something that I really want to start developing, although I'm really aware that I'm still growing in my artistic path and I have still a lot to learn. I'm not super skilled yet to be able to say, okay, from tomorrow I'm gonna expose at galleries. But to research my voice, to research my style, and also to practice, I really want to start thinking about my own set of work, of my own portfolio. And in any case, by developing that portfolio, I will be able to keep practicing. So this is a goal that I set for myself, so to develop a portfolio of 6 works by June. That's quite ambitious, but by works I mean both paintings and drawings. It's quite an ambitious goal because to develop your own work, it takes time because you have to put a lot of thinking, you need to develop your references from which you'll paint. You need to start painting and executing them. So maybe someone who sees that video could be like, okay, but I develop 12 works a month, and I would say, comment into this video and inspire me a little bit, because I do definitely know that people are quite quick at that. I don't know, I'm just brought to think that it's gonna require me more time, also because I'm still learning. But at the same time, as I said before, I really believe in manifesting, so I really need to think that it's gonna be easier than I think. I think it's an achievable goal. I really want to have this portfolio, both to find my own voice, which is not gonna just arrive from the above after these 6 works have been developed, but will definitely direct me into the right path, or something that will help me understand which kind of paintings I will want to develop. It will help me experiment, it will help me execute, it will help me work, it will help me practice. So I'm really pumped about this goal. I decided 6 because it is a challenging goal, but at the same time I think it's achievable. I don't exclude that this goal again will change in the future, but to me 6 6 is the minimum. So if I see that I'm quicker than I actually am in developing these works, at 6 works, once I achieve this goal, I won't just stop, but I will keep going on. And I decided to do that by June because I really want to use this whole year to make my dream possible. And I envision my portfolio to be completed by June so that in the second part of the year, I'm able to use this portfolio, to show this portfolio to people, to a website maybe, because I would love to create my own website where to display my works, where to start displaying my works. So yeah, I would love to start doing it now, and the second part of the year keep developing a further portfolio, further works, and use that at my advantage. So to be able to consolidate my identity as artist and to be able to say, yes, I've got my own works to show you if you want to see them, or yes, if you want a commission, this is my style, this is how I paint, and so on. So in any case, that is the part that I haven't figured out yet, that I'm leaving to the universe, but I really know that having a portfolio is a good thing to have to reach my goals, this goal in particular, which is my first priority. So we can get to the second goal. The second goal that I have for this year is to monetize my content. I have this goal because I have always loved creating content for social media, especially for Instagram, because I've been on Instagram since Instagram has been created. I've always enjoyed editing pictures, taking pictures, and working on that, but I've never taken it super seriously because I've never had time, honestly. At uni, I was studying. After uni, I started working, obviously. So for me, it was more of a hobby. And at some point, I kind of left it on a side. So from last year, actually, when I started the academy, I started being more consistent on social media as well. As you know, I have opened my YouTube channel as soon as I started attending the academy, and that was to document my journey. And I've actually loved working on long format videos. It was something that I've never done before. So that was kind of like going outside my comfort zone and creating a different type of content that I really love doing. Plus, as I always say, it's like documenting my life in here. So it's great to have all my thoughts somewhere. And although I always journal, because this is my actual journal where I write every morning or every day in any case, and I put everything in here, but I still love to have, you know, myself, my face, my emotions out there. And doing this YouTube channel has really brought me good satisfactions in terms of what I wanted to get from there, but at the same time, I'm ready to level up with that. I really want my content to start monetizing, and I have a strategy for YouTube, for Instagram, and for TikTok. And since we're talking about YouTube, I will definitely keep posting my progress in here. I will keep doing videos and my vlogs. However, I don't know if you know how much time goes into YouTube or in general into content creation, but for a video on my YouTube channel, it takes me between 12 and 15 hours a week. So that's a lot of hours, a lot of time. And that's why, you know, with the goal of being an artist, it would be great to finance everything with my own paintings in the future. But what I envision for myself, since I love content creation as well, is for this type of tool to help me support my life, you know, and to worry a bit less about finances. In any case, I'd love to keep doing this format since I'm still spending time on that. But I think I will decrease a little bit the YouTube frequency with which I'm posting with. And I think it's gonna be once every 2 weeks. Right now, I have been posting every week, but if I want to support my first priority, which is consolidating my identity as an artist, I need to dedicate more time to painting and to developing my portfolio, as I said before. YouTube will still keep being here. I will post long format videos once every 2 weeks, and that's going to be a minimum again for me, because that needs to be the minimum from which I can go above. So for example, I'm sure I will have extra content. So for example, interviews with artists, which I definitely want to keep doing, because that will help me, first of all, consolidate my identity as an artist, because it's something I'm really really interested in how, their journey, their thoughts. I think that I learn a lot, I grow a lot when I speak with any artist that I have the chance to interview. But that is going to be an extra content, because my, let's say, more normal content that I will post once every 2 weeks is more going to be vlogs about what I learned at the academy, or reflections, about my artistic journey, as it always used to be here on this channel. Plus, I will definitely post more shorts, and that's going to be much more frequent, because that is also linked to my Instagram strategy. Because Instagram, which is the social media I'm most present on, is definitely something that I need to give more strength to, give more attention to as well. Because in 2025, yes, I did post on Instagram, but I would say I didn't post enough. So what I really wanted to do this year is to post at least 3 times a week, but also to diversify my content a little bit. It will go from some video strategy, from reels, let's say, to some carousels and posts again about my week, what I did at the academy, or what I did at home, for example, with drawings and so on. And at the same time, I just launched a one painting a week series. That's very interesting for me, because in that series, I will post one painting a week, a painting that I will have seen, for example, in museums, with my own pictures, my own close-ups, and that will really help me to slow down, to learn a little bit more about those paintings. Because what I realized is that my camera roll was so full with pictures, amazing pictures of amazing paintings and so on, but often I don't know enough about these paintings. Yeah, that's a good chance for me to stop 1 second, to reflect about those, to learn more about those, and also to post on Instagram, on social media. Follow me there if you are not doing so. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel, support my goal if you want to help a little dreaming artist that's out there in the ecosystem. So I would be really grateful for you. Talking about Instagram, let me check if I wrote down something more. But no, that's gonna be one of my main platforms, and it's gonna be a little bit more polished than TikTok, because I've recently opened TikTok, and it's a platform that I'm less familiar with because I've never posted in there, but I have started posting since a month ago, more or less, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm really excited to do more of that. And what my TikTok will be for in my ecosystem, basically TikTok is gonna combine my Instagram more polished content with some more spontaneous content. So while my objective for Instagram is to post minimum 3 times a week, on TikTok, I'm gonna try to post every day. I know it's not easy, it's a bit challenging, but honestly, I've done that so far. It's been easy, it's been okay. Also because compared to Instagram, where, as I said, the content is slightly more polished, more refined, on TikTok, I feel like I can be more spontaneous, and I'm loving this. That's how I will use my TikTok, just for random ideas, to put my random ideas out there. If you're also not following me there and you have a TikTok account, please follow me. I will put my details in the description and down here. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's giving me great energy, great things to expect, I'm having lots of fun. But in general, talking about this social media goal and, this second goal of monetizing my content, I really hope to increase my followers, basically. I don't have a number in mind, but that number needs to serve the fact of monetizing. But in general, what I would love to do, where I would love this monetization to come, is first from ads on YouTube. So I hope to reach the minimums on YouTube to be able to start monetizing it, but also from brand collaborations. This is a thing that I would really love to do, that I always dreamed about doing. So if you're a brand, if you know anyone working in brands and you think I could be a good person to develop their social media content or to do collaborations, I would love to talk with you. I know that this is gonna come as well with its own timings, and I have some dream brands in mind. I'm just not gonna tell you here because I want to keep some dreams for myself. Maybe I will tell this off camera, and then if that happens, I will post that footage and be like, I dreamt about these brands and I made that real. I know that I'm dreaming a lot, but yeah, I'm a believer that I could achieve all these things. Call me the Lulu, but sometimes at some point it will become possible. And then let's get to my third goal. So my first goal was to consolidate my identity as artist. My second goal was to monetize my social media content, on which I have a strategy and I'm super ready to work on, super excited, and I'm already working a lot on it. But my third goal is more related to myself as a person, as my third goal is to take care of myself a little bit more. I have three pillars, I think, here. One is to go and see doctors, because this is something that I've been procrastinating on. I've always procrastinated on this goal, actually. This is something I shouldn't do anymore. I mean, I'm 30, so I'm starting to feel some pains, some little things here and there. So this year is gonna be the year that I'm like, okay, going to doctors is part of my normal life. I need to do blood tests, I need to scan my moles, you know, I need to go to the dentist, for example. So if you're also like me, do that too, because that is really important. Yeah, so I need to see more doctors, but beyond that, I also need to go back into working out. I gave up on working out 2 or 3 years ago, more or less, and it's something that has really disappointed me, if I can say that, because I've always been a super sporty person. I've always loved to work out. Going without working out for so long is really making me feel weak, and my body's aching all the time, and it's a feeling that I don't like. My future self is a person who works out, so I've already gone back into working out. I just need to make it consistent, and I'm doing some Pilates at home with some YouTube videos. Today it's the solution that is sustainable for me to do, because I can, you know, decide my own timings and so on, and I'm enjoying it a lot as well. That is something that I think I can keep sustainable. I really need to become a sporty person again, and this is the year that I'm a sporty person again, that I go back into working out, because that's really important for my health, for your health. So get inspired if you also want to work out and you're procrastinating on that. And then my third pillar with taking care of myself is to eat healthier. Eat healthier, and we can decline it in two parts. So first of all, eating less refined sugars, because I'm a really sweet tooth and I love sweets. I eat a lot of sweets. Maybe sometimes you can see it from my pimples. I tend to exaggerate a little bit when I have it at home. I should definitely start putting a limit to myself. So I will limit that to one little chocolate a day, which I think is good for my cravings, but at the same time is good amount not to be unhealthy. The second thing that I want to do to eat healthier is to eat more vegetarian. On this, I do not think that I will ever be able to become 100% vegetarian, and I don't even think I really want to. Also because I have iron deficiency, and some meat every once in a while I think could be okay. But I really want to limit that to the minimum. For me, the reason is for animals. I really don't like thinking about how animals are killed when they need to arrive on our table. And that's the main reason, basically. So I will try to limit my meat intake, my animal food intake, to once a week. I think I'll be able to do that because I'm quite vegetarian already in my diet, but I wasn't really, you know, counting on how many non-vegetarian meals I eat a week, but I really want to limit that as much as possible. And I want to have that intake only if necessary. So I want one to be the maximum, but if I don't get that one non-vegetarian meal that week, that's even better. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I think these are my goals for 2026. How do I plan on track my goals? Wait, I have something to show you. And what I'm gonna show you is this, okay, sorry, the paper sheet is horrible, but it's this habits tracker. I'm not gonna zoom in too much because this is my personal habit tracker. I can read it to you, but it's not being created by me, but it's being created by Emily McDonald, who's actually I'm on the brain here on social media. I've watched her content a lot. She's been my guru recently about manifesting, positive thinking, goal setting, and so on. And I really loved her idea of having a habit tracker that's how I decided to keep monitoring my objectives, just to make sure that they can come true, that I can keep my habits there, not to forget about the goals that I set, and so on. So basically, on this habit tracker, this is the January habit tracker. I've just started it from the 12th, so that's why you see a lot of lines. But here are the number of days, so from the 1st till the 31st, and here are my habits that I plan on taking this month, this year, let's say. Again, they can evolve because I'm open to evolving my objectives as I realize they are right or not right for me, or maybe I need to add some more or take away others. So what I put here is that every day, so for example on the 12th, I put the habits that I want to have daily or in general consistently, and mark it with an X if I did something or I didn't do something. So for example, the habits that I put are journaling, meditating, exercising, challenging myself, drawing and painting, eating healthy, talk to a friend, listening to something inspiring, taking care of myself, leveling up, posting on social media. Obviously, doing all these things every day is quite challenging, but consistency here is the key. So I mark with an X everything that I do daily, but then if I don't manage to do everything that I set for myself, that's fine. I just need to keep track of the fact that if, for example, on journaling, I didn't put an X for too long, maybe it's a good time to do that. I think that's all what consistency is about. That's how I think about keeping track of my things, and I'm really pumped for this year. I really envision a beautiful year for myself. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. It's been super honest. It's been like a flow of thoughts that I'm putting out there. So let me know what you thought. Support me on my channels if you aren't doing so. And I really want to know what your objectives are for this year, and if you, like me, are a big objectives and goals person, because I really always get inspired by other people's thoughts and point of view and their goals too. So I would be really curious to see what your thoughts are on this topic. The video is over here. Leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to leave a like as well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!